Yo, what's up anime fans? Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into the world of Isekai, but not just any Isekai. We're talking about those series where the main character is so OP, they break the game. Grab your snacks, hit that like button, and let's jump into the top 10 Isekai anime, where the MC is overpowered. 10. The daily life of middle-aged online shopper. From nowhere, middle-aged illustrator Kenichi Hamada finds himself summoned to another world. Despite arriving in an unfamiliar land, he realizes he can still connect to an online shop named Shangri-La, which he frequented back in Japan, to order almost anything. Not long after, Kenichi comes across a town and, using Shangri-La, decides to become a merchant in the settlement. By selling products from Earth, he is quickly able to make a living for himself while gaining acquaintances and the attention of local companies. However, the man just wants to live a quiet life without nuisances and leaves the town to build a cabin in a nearby forest. Though interrupted from time to time, there is nothing that can stop Kenichi from having his peaceful days. 9. Red Ranger becomes an adventurer in another world. The Red Ranger, Tugo Asagaki, finds himself transported to another world in the middle of a fierce battle against forces of evil. Upon arriving, he quickly makes a name for himself as an adventurer and takes on a job from a young mage named Yydra Arvon. With his eccentric powers and frenzied personality, Tugo blazes through the mission with her. After the quest, Tugo and Yydra begin adventuring together with their respective goals. Tugo strives to help as many as possible in the new world and find a way back home, while Yydra desires to redeem her family lineage of mages and make magic accessible to everyone. Along their journey, the duo discover the limitations yet endless potential of the bonds they forge as they overcome adversities to achieve their aspirations. Magic Maker. A 30-year-old man who dreams of becoming a wizard suddenly loses his life. Reincarnated in another world as a young child named Cheyenne, he grows up alongside Marie, his dependable older sister who adores him. Cheyenne eagerly anticipates using magical powers, but he discovers that the new world seemingly does not have any magic. He spends the ensuing years as a gloomy and dejected child until a mystical phenomenon at a nearby lake catches the sibling's attention and breathes life back into his magical dream. While experimenting on the peculiar light emanating from the water, Cheyenne finally confirms that magical energy really exists. It may not be convenient for anything just yet, but Cheyenne devotes his time to studying the anomaly, determined to uncover all the existing wonders in his quest to make magic. 7. Welcome to Japan, Ms. Elf. Since childhood, Kazuhiro Kaites has been able to dream of a different world. He can return to reality by falling asleep or dying, and he can pick up where he left off by sleeping again. For years, he has had many adventures alongside Mariabelle, a beautiful elf who works for the Sorcery Guild. On one of their escapades, they come across the lair of a dragon taking care of its eggs. They inadvertently wake the slumbering beast, who promptly reduces them to ashes. For Kazuhiro, it is merely a temporary setback, as he can simply go back. However, he is shocked to find Mariabelle herself safe and sound asleep next to him. Kazuhiro realizes that his dream world is an alternate reality altogether. In the meantime, he makes the most of this bizarre circumstance, introducing Mariabelle to the sights and wonders of Japan. Now, with their time together spanning two worlds, their real adventures have just begun. 6. Villainous Level 99. The beginning of Light Magic and the Hero, an Otome RPG, unfolds fairly normally. The heroine, Alicia in Light, meets her three love interests one after another and then inevitably comes face-to-face with the villainous. Yumiella Dolkness may be of noble descent, but her dark hair and rare dark-type magic, both associated with the Demon Lord, spark fear in anyone who sees her. When she is 5 years old, Yumiella regains memories of her previous life in modern Japan, also realizing that her fate is to become the hidden boss that appears after Alicia and her suitors defeat the Demon Lord. Yumiella refuses to live as the game dictates and, as she prefers the game's fantasy elements over its romance, she decides to cultivate her magical skills and level up in secret. However, everything falls apart on the day of the Royal Academy's entrance ceremony. Yumiella's powers are measured at level 99, something thought impossible even for the Royal Knights, let alone a 15-year-old girl. With the royal family requesting her help, and everyone else insisting that she prove her strength, Yumiella realizes that her dream of a quiet life is no longer an option. 5. The unfavorable job apprecier is actually the strongest. In a fantasy world where jobs are God-given from birth, heroes are born, not made, and Ein's job of appraiser has put him about as far from the hero pedestal as possible. Used, abused, and eventually abandoned by his fellow adventurers, Ein decides it just isn't worth going on. Lucky for Ein, though, the end may just be the beginning, and a new lease on life. Turns out, his worthless job may just be the key to becoming a hero after all. For Chillance in another world with level 2 super cheat powers. When a humble merchant named Banaza is summoned to the magical kingdom of Clyrode in another world, the citizens hope he will become the hero who can take down the threatening Dark Army. Unfortunately, Banaza does not gain any exceptional powers at level 1 as hero candidates usually do, and he has no way of returning to his old world. As compensation, he is sent to live in a faraway forest. Upon arriving, Banaza levels up once and suddenly gains limitless powers that he now has no idea what to do with. To avoid drawing attention, Banaza changes his appearance and assumes the name Flio. While away from home, he stumbles across a young demi-human girl named Fenris, who is seemingly searching for the same forest Flio was sent to. However, she attacks him and reveals her true identity, a Lupin demon. Luckily, Philo's unrivaled magic overpowers Fenris, and she swears undying loyalty to him. However, Flio refuses to hold power over her. The two instead begin pretending to be a married couple and embark on a new life together. 3. Apocalypse Bringer Minogra. Takuto Ira succumbed to illness at a young age and ended up reincarnating in a world that resembles the fantasy turn-based strategy game Eternal Nations. Not only did he reincarnate into his favorite game, but as the god who commands the evil civilization Minogra. With Minogra's beautiful hero unit, Sludge Wichita by his side, not even legendarily difficult race traits will stand in the way of restarting their civilization. 2. Skeleton Knight in Another World. After falling asleep while playing an online game, a man wakes up and finds himself transported to that game's world as his in-game character, Ark. He wastes no time adjusting to his new environment, but soon realizes that he is using the skeleton avatar he chose when creating his character, which forces him to hide his visage to avoid unwanted attention. Ark goes to the nearby castle town of Louviers, hoping to become an adventurer and take on quests to earn money. With his overpowered abilities, Ark embarks on a fantastical journey, exploring diverse territories, looting various monsters, and helping people get out of sticky situations. However, his seemingly innocuous actions may soon involve him in a brewing large-scale conflict that will forever alter the fate of the realm. 1. Tsukimiki Moonlit Fantasy. As part of a mysterious contract agreed upon by a goddess and his parents years ago, Makoto Misumi finds himself sent to another world to meet the goddess and become the hero. However, the deity deems Makoto to be hideous, refusing to even lay eyes upon him and revokes his heroic title, disdainfully giving him the ability to understand all languages except the human language as compensation. The goddess drives Makoto off to the farthest edges of the wasteland, far from human civilization. Due to the disparity between Earth and this new world, Makoto's inherent physical and magical capabilities awaken, making him extremely powerful. He meets various demi-humans and mythical beings who all end up being captivated with his characteristics and join Makoto in building a new community where all of them can peacefully coexist. Nevertheless, despite this success, Makoto still yearns to meet fellow humans. In a world where the goddess herself has barred him from interacting with his kind, it is up to Makoto and his companions to fulfill his desire, and perhaps reform society along the way. And that's our list. Did your favorite OP Isekai MC make the cut? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell for more anime goodness. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.